Okay, listen, what if I told you that this little copper coin, this 1 cent penny, could make you a millionaire? No, I haven't lost it. We're talking about the 1960 D Lincoln cent, and trust me, this one's got a story juicier than your Aunt Linda's Thanksgiving gossip. That's right. 1.9 million. For a penny. I know what you're thinking. Did I just toss my retirement into a Coinstar machine? Well, maybe. But stick with me and I'll show you what to look for, how to tell if you have this rare gem, and what makes it worth its weight in gold, and then some. So what's the deal with the 1960 D Lincoln cent? It all starts in Denver, the D Mint mark. In 1960, the US Mint did something funky. They produced two versions of the penny, a small date and a large date. The difference? It's all in the zero. The small date version has a thinner, taller zero, while the large date has a chunkier, shorter one. It's subtle, like the difference between regular soda and diet. You can tell something's off, but you have to squint. Now here's where it gets wild. In 2019, a rare 1960 D small date Lincoln cent in pristine condition, graded MS67 Plus read by PCGS, sold for, you guessed it, $1.9 million. Why? Because this coin is rare, in mint condition, and it's an overdate variety. That's when the mint accidentally stamped a small date over a large date, or vice versa. Think of it as a penny with an identity crisis. And collectors go crazy for that kind of drama. Now, quick story. I once thought I hit the jackpot. Found an old penny in my grandma's sewing drawer. 1960 D. Heart racing. Hands sweaty. I googled faster than a teenager on TikTok. Turns out? Large date. Worth about 2 cents. Maybe 3 if I smile. But hey, it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check the date, the mint mark, and the condition. Oh, and don't assume grandma's pennies are hiding fortunes. Sometimes they're just laundry change. So how do you know if you've got the magic penny? Here's the checklist, small date version. Look at that zero, check for doubling or overdate features. Needs to be in top-notch condition, like never met a pocket kind of condition. Get it professionally graded. PCGS or NGC are your go-to OS. If it checks all those boxes? You better buckle up. You might just be sitting on a coin that could buy you a limbo, or at least pay off your student loans. So the next time you're digging for loose change in the couch cushions, remember, don't just look for quarters. Check those pennies too. That little copper coin might just be your $1 million ticket. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Drop a comment if you've got a 1960 D penny, or if you're heading to check your stash right now. 1967 Lincoln penny, with one small detail that makes it extraordinary. Stick around, because today we're diving into how one little copper coin with no mint mark flipped the numismatic world upside down. Alright, here's the scoop. In 1967, the US Mint was trying to stop collectors from hoarding coins just because they had mint marks. So, they did the unthinkable. They removed all mint marks from coins minted that year. So technically, every 1967 penny was a no mint mark penny. Boring, right? But here's the kicker, some of these pennies weren't just ordinary. They had incredibly rare die errors, insanely high grades, or were struck on the wrong planchet. And when I say rare, I mean rarer than finding a parking spot at Costco on a Saturday rare. There are 3 things that'll make your 1967 penny jump in value faster than a cat who touched a cucumber. Planchet errors, like being struck on a dime planchet. Yup, that's a thing. Combine those and you've got what collectors call the holy trinity of penny value. Okay, quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old coin jar. You know, one of those giant pickle jars everyone's grandparent has hidden behind the kitchen sink. I'm sifting through, thinking I'll find a crusty quarter or two for the vending machine. Turned out it wasn't worth $1 million. Just a nice dinner at Applebee's. But it got me obsessed. That one moment sparked my coin collecting journey. And trust me, once you start checking your change, It's like treasure hunting every time you hit the Taco Bell drive-thru. Let's talk cheddar. One of the highest recorded sales of a 1967 penny came in at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million at a private auction. Why? It had a nearly perfect grade, struck on a dime planchet, and had one of the clearest die errors ever seen. So before you toss your coins into a fountain and wish for money, maybe check your pocket first. You might already be holding it. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't ignore it like an expired coupon. Pick it up. Flip it over, inspect it, because it might be your ticket to retiring early, or at least getting that upgraded coffee at Starbucks. And if you found this helpful, or even just slightly entertaining, do me a solid, smash that like button like you're hammering a stuck piggy bank, hit subscribe for more coin tips, tricks, and market updates, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a hidden gem again. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird penny or inherited a coin collection. Your story might just be our next video. 1978, yeah, the one you almost flipped into the Coinstar machine? It could be worth $1.70 million. You heard me. $1.7 million. For a penny. And guess what? It might be hiding in your pocket right now. Stick around because today, we're diving into the wild story of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, what it is, how to find it, and how one little dot, or lack of one, could turn you into a millionaire. Alright, let's rewind to 1978. Back when gas was 65 cents a gallon, disco ruled the airwaves, and bell-bottoms were somehow okay. The US Mint was cranking out Lincoln cents like nobody's business. Normally, coins from the Philadelphia Mint had no mint mark. That was standard. But here's the twist. In the world of coins, errors equals $. Some of these 1978 pennies were struck with extremely rare die errors or transitional mistakes, like missing mint marks in odd places, double dies, or off-metal strikes. One known example of a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, but verified as a Denver Mint error, was graded MS-65 and later auctioned for, you guessed it, $1.7 million. I mean, I love a good pizza, but I've never had a meal that made me cry like that penny did. That's a life changer. So, how do you know if you have the magic money coin? First, grab your 1978 pennies. Look under the date. If there's no D or S, that's not unusual, it's probably from Philly. But if you can prove that no mint mark penny actually came from Denver or San Francisco, now we're cooking with gasoline. Also, look for signs of die doubling on the date or lettering, off-center strikes, or weird coloration. And if you find a coin that looks suspiciously not normal, do not, I repeat, do not clean it. That's like trying to polish a Picasso with a Brillo pad. Been there, ruined that. I once cleaned a 1955 double die with baking soda. Thought I was being clever. Turns out, I erased about $800 in value. I basically gave my coin a valuectomy. Now, if you think you struck copper gold, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm the error, grade it, and boom, suddenly you're the proud owner of a coin worth anywhere from a few $100 to seven figures. In 2024, one of these pennies fetched $1.7 million at auction. That's enough to buy a house, a car, and still have room for a mint-condition Charizard. And here I was, using mine to scratch lotto tickets. Shame on me. So, next time someone hands you change at the gas station, don't toss it in your cup holder like it's trash. That little copper circle could be the ticket to your early retirement, or at least the world's fanciest Taco Bell dinner. Hey, coins are weird, wonderful, and sometimes wildly valuable. And if you want to learn how to spot the hidden gems in your couch cushions, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on the next treasure tip. 1979 D. Lincoln penny, why it's worth that much, and how you might actually spot one without needing to sell a kidney. Let's roll! So, what's the deal with the 1979 D. Lincoln penny? First off, what's a D mint mark? It just means it was made in Denver, one of the US Mint's locations. But the real star here isn't just the mint mark. It's a rare era coin, a 1979 D penny with a double die on the reverse side. This means the details on the back, like the words 1 cent or the wheat stalks, appear doubled. It's like the penny had a little hiccup during printing, kind of like when I try to text my boss but accidentally send a LOL. That sounds way too sarcastic. Now, these mistakes happen occasionally in coin production, but the 1979 D double die penny is extra rare and extra valuable. Why? Because only a handful made it into circulation without being caught and pulled. And collectors love errors like this. It's like owning a coin with a secret identity. Between you and me, I once found what I thought was a rare penny in my dad's coin jar, only to realize it was just a dirty, scratched mess. I was ready to buy a yacht and instead bought a sandwich. Don't worry, this time I'm sticking to coins with legit history. Okay, so what's the actual value? Well, a perfect condition 1979 D double die penny can fetch around $1.8 million. Yep, that's enough to buy a house, a fancy car, or a lifetime supply of pizza, if you're into that. But hold up, before you start digging through every penny you've ever owned, here's a pro tip. These coins need to be in near mint condition. If it's worn down or scratched, the value drops faster than your phone battery at 1%. Also, you need a trained eye or a good loupe to spot that doubling. And always get it graded by a professional. Because if you try selling your $1 million penny on eBay with a blurry photo, you might get, well, a sandwich. So, how do you tell if your penny might be one of these? Look closely at the reverse side. The words 1 cent and the wheat stalks should have a shadow or a double image. If it looks like your penny just blinked twice, you're on to something. And if you want to go full detective, take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. Also, keep an eye out for other weird coin errors like off-center strikes, double dies in other years, or coins with extra metal blobs. Sometimes, these mistakes can be worth a fortune. So there you have it. The 1979 D Lincoln penny, small, simple, and possibly worth enough to retire early. It's a reminder that treasure could be hiding in the smallest places, like your pocket change. And hey, if you found this fascinating or you just want to impress your friends with crazy coin facts, hit that subscribe button below. I've got plenty more tips and stories about coins worth a mint and strategies to turn your change into cash. 1980 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. Stick around, because this little copper coin has a story crazier than your uncle's fishing tales. Okay, first things first, what is this 1980 No Mint Mark penny? Let me break it down real quick. Normally, pennies made in Denver get a D mint mark. Philadelphia pennies from 1980 have no mint mark because Philly didn't always mark their coins, right? But here's the twist. 1980 Philadelphia pennies with absolutely no mint mark are actually super rare. Why? Because during that year, almost every penny made at Philly did have a mint mark, so finding one without it is like spotting a unicorn at a barbecue. So why is this penny worth $1.5 million? Well, it's all about rarity and a little bit of minting error magic. Collectors drool over these because only a handful are believed to exist in mint condition. It's like the coin world's version of a secret VIP party. I remember the first time I found a 1980 penny in my grandma's old coin jar. I flipped it over, saw the D mark, and thought, nice, a Denver penny, cool. But then I found one without a mark and went, wait, what? I did a quick Google search and suddenly my cool penny turned into a holy cow, this might be worth my kid's college fund. But before you start rummaging through every couch cushion or piggy bank, here's the kicker, these pennies need to be in near-perfect condition. And trust me, the ones in circulation that look like they survived a monster truck rally? Not gonna cut it. Now, as for the value, $1.5 million. Crazy, right? But like any rare collectible, it's not just about the coin itself. It's about the story, the condition, and the market. That price tag has been confirmed by recent auctions where the penny sold for jaw-dropping amounts. So yeah, this isn't just your pocket change anymore. Here's a quick fun fact. Most of us toss pennies without thinking twice. But the 1980 no mint mark penny teaches us a lesson. Sometimes, the tiniest things can have the biggest surprises. So, what's the takeaway? If you're a collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, keep an eye out for that sneaky 1980 penny with no mint mark. It could turn out to be your golden ticket, or, well, your $1 million penny. And if you enjoyed this little coin adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because I've got tons more tips and stories on coins that are worth way more than their face value. Trust me, your piggy bank might thank you someday. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin you thought was worthless but ended up being a hidden gem. I love hearing your stories, and hey, who knows? Maybe your next comment is about the 1980 penny that made you a millionaire. 1986 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent. Yep, that tiny copper disc could actually be worth over $1.7 million today. Million. With an M. Sounds nuts, right? Stick around because I'm about to drop some coin facts that will blow your mind, and maybe your piggy bank too. Alright, first up, let's talk basics. You know those little letters on pennies? Like a D for Denver, P for Philadelphia? Well, in 1986, the Philly Mint decided to skip putting any mint mark on some pennies. But here's the twist: the vast majority of 1986 pennies do have the D mark. So, finding one without it is like spotting a unicorn, if unicorns were made of copper and had Abraham Lincoln's face on them. So why is the no mint mark penny so special? Because it was a minting error. A rare slip-up where some pennies were made without that tiny letter. And rarity in coins usually means ka-ching. Now, here's the part where I almost spit out my coffee. Believe it or not, the 1986 no mint mark penny recently sold for a staggering $1.7 million. Yeah, that's not a typo. That little penny, smaller than your thumbnail, is worth more than most people's cars, college funds, or even my entire gaming setup. But before you rush to check your couch cushions, let me just say, this value is for a perfect, mint condition no mint mark penny. We're talking flawless, shiny, collector-grade quality. If your penny looks like it's been through 100 laundry cycles or has that weird green stuff on it, well, sorry, but you might be better off buying a lottery ticket instead. Wanna know how to spot this bad boy in your change jar? Here's a quick pro tip. Look at the bottom right of Lincoln's bust. If there's no D mint mark at all, you might have hit the jackpot. But remember, it's super rare, like seeing Bigfoot eating a taco rare. If you do find one, don't just put it on your desk and hope it grows money like a beanstalk. Take it to a professional coin grader or an expert. Trust me, I learned this the hard way, so here's a quick story from me. A few years back, I was digging through an old jar of pennies and thought, hey, maybe there's a rare penny in here. And guess what? I pulled out a 1986 penny with no mint mark. I was this close to calling my bank to deposit a cool million. But spoiler alert, it was scratched to heck and looked like it had been through a tornado and a dog chew toy test. Still, it was a cool reminder that sometimes treasure is hiding in the most unlikely places, even if it's not always worth $1 million. So keep your eyes peeled, and who knows, maybe you'll find your own coin jackpot. To wrap it up, the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny is one of the coolest coin stories out there, and at $1.7 million, it's proof that sometimes, tiny things pack a big punch. So next time you're digging in your pockets, your couch, or your car's cup holder, remember to check those pennies carefully. You might just have $1 million masterpiece hiding in your hand. If you want more tips on how to spot coins worth big bucks, smart money strategies, and fun stories from the world of coins, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. And hey, if you find a rare penny, come back and tell me about it in the comments. I want to hear your treasure tales. Alright, that's all for today. Keep those coins shiny, and who knows, maybe next time you'll be holding $1 million penny too. See you in the next video. 1994 no mint mark Lincoln cent. It's rare, it's real, and if you find one, you better hold onto your socks cause they're about to be knocked off. Let's get the basics out of the way real quick. So what's the deal with mint marks? In simple terms, They're like the made-in tag for coins. Most Lincoln cents will have a tiny little D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco under the date. If there's no letter, that usually means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now here's the twist. In 1994, every Lincoln penny was supposed to have that little D if it came from Denver. But one sneaky penny made it through without a mint mark. Just one. A ghost penny. A rebel. A glitch in the copper matrix. So how does a missing mint mark make a penny worth more than my car? Simple: rarity. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln cent is considered a mint error, and collectors love a good error. Especially when it's this rare. There's only one verified specimen known to exist. And because collectors have deep pockets and even deeper obsessions, that baby sold, allegedly, for $1.8 million at a private auction. Not bad for a coin that originally cost 1 cent, huh? Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I found a 1994 penny in my junk drawer and thought, oh boy, could this be the one? I even put on gloves like I was handling the Declaration of Independence. Turns out, mine had the D. Womp womp. But it did teach me how many cool errors and varieties are out there hiding in plain sight. Plus, my neighbor bought me tacos from my almost treasure find, so still a win. Alright, here's how you check your pennies. Grab any 1994 penny. Look just below the year. No D? No S? You might be holding the second known specimen. Of course, you'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. If it's real, and that's a big if, you might be able to retire early, or at least afford extra guac at Chipotle. So, moral of the story? Don't ignore your change. That boring penny in your couch cushions could secretly be a millionaire in disguise. And hey, even if you don't strike gold, you'll learn a ton and have a blast treasure hunting. If you liked this video, smash that like button like it owes you money. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got tons more tips, strategies, and stories about coins that are actually worth money. 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why one of them sold for a jaw-dropping $1.60 million. That's right, with 6 zeros. For a penny. I know, it sounds like something your weird uncle made up after 3 Red Bulls, but this is 100% real. Alright, first things first. What even is this magical $1 million penny? Most modern pennies have a tiny letter under the date, like a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But this one? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. It's blank. And that little missing mark is where things get spicy. The US Mint made billions of pennies in 2008. But a tiny number slipped through without a mint mark, due to a die error or even, wait for it, intentional striking for test purposes. It's like the mint equivalent of sending a text and realizing you forgot the emoji. But when they do it, it turns into a $1 million oopsie. Well, in coin collecting, rarity plus condition plus demand equals money bag cha-ching. The 2008 no mint mark penny is crazy rare. And when one turned up in pristine, uncirculated condition, the kind that makes grading experts weep tears of joy, a private collector shelled out $1.6 million at auction. Meanwhile, I once spent 12 minutes trying to use a penny to scratch a lottery ticket. Spoiler alert, didn't win anything, scratched a hole through the card, and the penny? Not rare. Now let's talk turkey. How do you find one of these? Here's what to look for: white heavy check mark, check the date, it must be 2008. White heavy check mark, look under the date. If there's no mint mark at all, you might be holding something special. White heavy check mark, check the condition, if it looks like it's been chewed on by a squirrel, probably not worth much. But a shiny, clean example? Time to celebrate. If you're really into it, get a coin microscope. They're cheap and make you feel like a CSI agent. I once spent an entire Saturday looking at change while binge-watching crime shows. I didn't find treasure, but I did diagnose my 1993 nickel with trust issues. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out an old cookie tin full of coins, because every grandma in America has one. I find this super shiny 2008 penny and my heart skips a beat. No mint mark. I'm thinking I just hit the jackpot. I run to the local coin shop like Charlie with his golden ticket. Guy looks at it under the loupe, squints, and goes, "Sorry, kid. This one's from Philadelphia." Totally normal. And just like that, heartbreak. But hey, it got me hooked. So the moral of the story? Don't ignore your pennies. That little copper coin sitting in your cup holder could be worth a fortune, and checking your change is a lot cheaper than playing the lottery. If you love stories like this, or want to learn how to spot hidden gems in your pocket, hit that subscribe button, slap that like, and ring the little bell so you don't miss a dime. Or in this case, $1 million penny.